Alright, here we are for game 2. This hand seems pretty good. Again, I have all my colors. And, I mean, a 3-drop, you know, it's a little slow. I don't have any 2-drops, but go Basilica Guards into Assault Griffin or Grizzly Spectacle. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Especially I have 2 Swamps, I can cast Grizzly Spectacle. It's not ideal, but it's definitely not bad. If I draw a couple lands of any kind, I can cast, well, I guess I need 1 plains, but if I draw a couple lands, most likely I'm going to be able to cast either of my Bomby cards, should I see them. And again, I'm not crazy about this card, but I suppose if he plays a turn 2 card, swings for 2. Alright, well that's not going to happen. So, never mind. Alright, well he's off to a slow start as well. There's one of our, what could be bombs, depending on depending on if we have any creatures out or not. Again, he does play blue-black, so he could have a Psychic Strike at some point, but I haven't seen it. I'm not going to play around it unless I have some sort of compelling reason to do so. Alright. So we're probably just going to let that guy swing at us for a little bit. Again, that seems like a pretty good card. I get you, not generally that unhappy to see this. He does have 1 Grizzly Spectacle we saw. Didn't really see any other removal. Either way, we're going to drop an Assault Griffin right here. Cannot extort it. Excuse me. Getting over a little bit of a cold. We did see a Totally Lost also, which also kind of ruins a Madcap. That's, I mean, that's a card. I like it more in a constructed Bant type deck. I mean, it's not bad. You still draw 3 cards. I mean, it's fine. I just realized he's playing way more than 40 cards. I guess I probably should have noticed that before, but I was too busy listening to myself talk. We're going to go ahead and take that too. I mean, as you probably know if you're watching Magic videos and play some Magic, and like I said, I'm no expert, but 41 cards isn't really where you want to be. Especially, I mean, this guy's running 4 colors. Like, run a 40-card deck with 2 or 3 good colors. Why are you running 50 cards or 60 cards? I mean, that doesn't really make sense. Maybe he doesn't know, but just for anyone who doesn't really know what's going on super well in this game. Super good. It's not really proper English. Anyone who doesn't really know what's going on that well. I'm going to go ahead and put the Madcap on the Assault Griffin. Again, it can get totally losted. Totally losted. He can cast Totally Lost on the Assault Griffin, but for 4 mana, I mean, if I drew another, you know, guy, I would play that. But either way, he's going to get in for 6 right now. Then I'm going to go ahead and leave my Executioner swing back for the Slate Street Ruffian and just take the 2 and destroy it. And if he somehow, in his 6 cards, like let's just say he has a Grizzly Spectacle and not a Swamp, then we're in good shape. If he's got a Totally Lost or some other bounce spell, you know, it's a waste of 1 card. Basically, it says pay 2 mana, deal 3 damage. So it's like a 2 mana Lightning Bolt at the worst. And if it happens to stick around on this guy, I win in about 2 turns. So I find it's worth the risk right now. Other than Totally Lost. All right, so that might be right there. What is necessary to cast a Grizzly Spectacle. But you know, that's okay. Alright, I mean, I could save it, but like I said, I don't really want to use Executioner Swing after I get pummeled by somebody, so, take the 2. I don't want to discard cards. I don't want to take 2 every turn, so let's just go ahead and get rid of it. Again, I don't love Executioner Swing. I'm paying 2 mana to kill something after taking damage from it, which, you're not trying to take damage before you remove guys that are going to hurt you. It's just, unfortunately, the way of things. I have a feeling this is going to get totally lost right now, but that card doesn't require an attacker or anything, so I might as well just swing in there, and if he casts it, he casts it. There's not much I can really do about it. I mean, Aetherize, I guess, is another card that I don't have to attack with, but okay, so there you go. I mean, there's nothing I can really do about that. So I lost a Basilica Guards, an Orzhov Charm, a few lands, an Arrows of Justice, and a Madcap Skills. So at this point, I mean, there's not much I can do. Even if I draw a land, Foundry Champion's only going to hit for 2, but I would play it anyway, because, I mean, a 4/4 body is something I could use at the moment. I have lots of removal, which is nice, but I'm going to have to draw some threats to be able to actually win this game. Alright, well, I guess I am probably going to cast a Grizzly Spectacle on the Phantasm, or the Phantom, excuse me. I mean, having to cast it every turn is annoying, but I can't really do anything about a 5/5, so I'm just going to go ahead and cast Grizzly Spectacle, let him mill 5, and I'll go ahead and extort it. I think that's a fine play. I might wait on the Angelic Edict on the Krasis. Alright, that's fine. Guess I can wait until it asks me to do so. I think what I want to do is just play the Edict on the Krasis, because at this point, I can block here, even without casting a Smite. I can play my 4/4 guy, but I think I want to get rid of this while he's tapped out, and I can go ahead and extort it. And that might be wrong, because it's only a 2/6, but it's unblockable, which makes my Smite bad, because I can't block it and Smite it. And it's huge at 2/6, so if he doesn't attack with it, I can't get through, since I only have 1 mountain. It makes my guy 5/4, so it's not really ideal. Again, the Basilica Guards, pretty good in this deck. I mean, I draw one of my Basilica Screechers. I mean, he's attacking here. I'm going to go ahead and block it. I mean, if he has a Giant Growth as his last card, or he wants to pitch a guy for whatever, that's fine by me. So that's pretty much what I had expected to happen. It's nice to be right once in a while. Hooray. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play the Kingpin's Pet, and go ahead and extort it. I got a guy who can fly through. And I can smite the Frilled Oculus, which obviously gets much bigger at 3/5. I mean, I guess it's not much bigger, but he's got a ton of mana, so it doesn't do a ton of good. Plus, he can make it a 5. What if I drop my Foundry Champion next turn? He counts as one of the creatures in play, so I can deal 3 damage to his other guy and kind of wipe his board a little bit here. Because that's my plan, I'm going to go ahead and block here, and block here, and that's what we're doing. And I guess I could have played that better so that I could have extorted instead of leaving a mountain open. Again, I was thinking, well, maybe he'll think I have something that I can do with a red mana, but clearly that wasn't important at all. I'm going to go ahead and play that, even though I'm going to end up tapping out my hand, because then I can pump my guy next turn. Alright, now the question is, do I want to just wipe his guy, or do I want to hit him to the face for 3? And I think the answer is I just want to wipe his guy. If he has a trick again, so be it. At that point, if hitting to the face for 3 would obviously be better. But I think wiping the board is the way to go here. Then I have a clear swing for my Foundry Champion next turn. Bane Alley Broker's fine. I mean, he might have a smite. I think he was playing white in his first game. I don't really remember, but either way, if that's what he's got, I'm not hanging back waiting around for it. So, I mean, this could be a totally loss of some sort, but at this point, there's no reason not to do this, because that'll put it to the top of my library. I mean, the only reason this would hurt is if he had some way to put it back in my hand. And at that point, I get to play it and fling a guy for 3. So if he doesn't have an answer this turn, I just flat out win. If I draw a spell, I can double extort, barring it being Angelic Skirmisher, at which point I can make my guys silly for combat anyway. So it would take something for me to not win this game pretty bad. Always possible. No Merciless Eviction, because he doesn't have a double white. Plus, haven't actually seen that. Alright, well, so there's a white. All I need to draw is a spell, and as long as he doesn't have some sort of removal, I win. So that'll probably do it. But let's get in there and see what happens. Alright, well, that's going to do it. Hooray us. We win round 1 of a Swiss. Alright, so I will see you in round 2.